On Tuesday, June 25th, 2024, U.S. Figure Skating announced a groundbreaking music policy. This is a significant development, unlike anything we've seen before. In my previous career, I worked in music and film. I know a thing or two about all this music licensing stuff. When I think about it, I also need to know a lot about music clearance just to make these videos on YouTube. So today, I'll break all this down for you in a way that you can understand, so that you can better get a handle on what's going on with music for figure skating and how you can ensure your music follows the new policy. Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. I know that many of you are upset about this. I mean, Reddit practically exploded. Believe it or not, there are very good reasons behind this new policy. It has less to do with U.S. figure skating directly, and actually more to do with the law. Don't get me wrong, U.S. figure skating would have done a better job in communicating this. They could have made sure that everyone was better prepared for it. Ultimately, though, this isn't a new idea. Instead, the music policy protects all of us, skaters, coaches, parents, clubs, instructors. U.S. figure skating is not the originator. Rather, there's a messenger of copyright law. They are simply implementing a necessary change to ensure the future of figure skating. They did have an interesting way of handling it. Before I dive in, I want to remind you that I'm not a lawyer. I think you know that. I'm also not any kind of official spokesperson for U.S. figure skating. However, I am a U.S. figure skating court certified coach, level 1 accredited in skating skills, program direction, and groups. While I am a coach, I'm also not your coach. As I mentioned earlier, I also worked in the music and film industry. Part of what I did was obtain rights and clearances for music. I do have a good handle on how all this works. That said, we only have a 1.5-page document to go by with this policy. So everything I explain today is my interpretation of the music policy, and it's just for your information. It's not any kind of legal advice. After you've watched this video, if you have questions, please consult with your coach and contact U.S. Figure Skating at music@usfigureskating.org with any questions or concerns you may have. All that's out of the way, so let's dive in. It's critical to understand that music isn't free. Just like you can't have a designer make you a dress for a competition and not pay for it, you also wouldn't have your coach do your program choreography and not pay them, right? I hope we're all on the same page and can agree that that would be stealing. It's the same when you use music. The artist who created that work needs to be paid. I get it. With all our current streaming options, it can sometimes feel like music is free. It's not. That's paid for with ads or by a subscription. When you stream a track, download, or buy a CD, it doesn't mean that you actually own that music. You just have the personal right to listen to it. You aren't allowed to play it in a public setting, make a copy of it, or add it to a YouTube video. All the music that I use in these videos here on YouTube has been licensed. I actually pay a fee for the music I use in my videos. I use a service called Epidemic Sound to ensure the rights and clearances are included in all the music that I put in my YouTube videos. It's a pretty low subscription rate. If I didn't do that, the artist would know that I used one of their tracks without permission through YouTube's copyright match tool called Content ID. Then the artist would either claim the copyright and keep the revenue from the ads that are produced from my video, or they could hit me with what's called a copyright strike, which would be really bad. A YouTube copyright strike is also known as a DMCA. That stands for Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's a warning issued by YouTube to a creator that they're violating the platform's copyright policy. A copyright strike is issued when a rights owner requests the legal removal of that video on YouTube. YouTube must remove the video. The creator is notified and they can either file a counter notice or accept the takedown decision. If the video is taken down, the creator's channel will receive a copyright strike. The first strike can negatively impact channel features like live streaming and monetization. But if you receive 3 strikes within a certain period of time, YouTube will terminate your channel and remove all your videos. None of us want that. We can also face legal challenges and can be required to pay legal fees and fines if we lose the case. That's why I use Epidemic Sound to avoid all that legal hassle. If you're interested in learning more about Epidemic Sound, there's a link in the description down below. You'll get a 7-day free trial. The reason I mention all this is to provide you with additional context about how music rights and clearances actually work. All pieces of music are owned by their creator. That's the people who wrote the song and the artists who record the version of that song. This is true whether the song is a hit or even if it's something obscure. Writers and artists can control what happens to their creation. Using music without the writers' and artists' permission is an infringement of worldwide copyright law. You can be liable for damage. Someone, often a group of someone's, worked really hard to create that piece of music that you're using in your program. Those artists need to be compensated for their work so that you can legally use it. The artist owns their song. As the song's owner, they have the right to decide how the song is used. Anyone who wants to use that song needs permission. This is called a license. A music license is a legal agreement that outlines how the work can be used. To keep things 100% legal, you need a license to use the music that you skate to in your program. This should always have been this way all along. Coming from the music, television, and film industries, I was actually always really surprised that U.S. figure skating didn't require this. I guess it just may have fallen under the radar. That was at least until there was a lawsuit. In 2022, Alexa Knierim and Brandon Fraser used a version of The House of the Rising Sun in the Paris Olympic short program. Now, while the song is an American folk song, which was recorded by a couple of singers in the 1930s and 1940s, the song became popular when it was recorded by the British group The Animals. The version of the song that Knierim and Fraser used was by Heavy Young Heathens. They filed a lawsuit alleging blatant and purposeful copyright infringements on their version of The House of the Rising Sun. The lawsuit also named Comcast, NBC Universal, Peacock, USA Network, and U.S. Figure Skating, alongside Knierim and Fraser. Basically, the Heavy Young Heathens alleged that none of those parties obtained proper licensing to use the song. That particular case was settled. But without the music policy, it could happen again with another song from another artist to another skater. Even you, yes, you personally, could be sued. We all know that music is essential for figure skating, so you must confirm that you have the appropriate right and licensing, so you're not exposed to civil penalties and damages. While it seems like this is just one more thing that U.S. figure skating is putting on us, they're actually doing all of us a favor. They recognize that this is complex and that asking you to go and obtain the rights for the music that you're performing to is going to be really hard. So they're better equipping us with this policy. That's you and me and all the members, so we can avoid violating copyright laws and winding up with legal issues. U.S. Figure Skating has partnered with the 2 largest performing rights organizations. That's ASCAP and BMI, to ensure a blanket performance license for all music utilized by athletes at sanctioned and approved events. That is, as long as your song choice is 100% covered through ASCAP and or BMI. A performance license is an agreement between a music user, you, and the owners of the copyrighted song that grants permission to play the song in public, regardless of how small of a portion of the song is used. To comply with copyright laws, U.S. Figure Skating strongly recommends that all music being used for competitions, shows, training, or intermission music being utilized at U.S. Figure Skating's sanctioned or approved event, program, or activity is 100% cleared by BMI, ASCAP, or a combination of the two. This is for your protection. Songview is an online music rights database that allows you to ensure that a song you want to use is fully licensed. Access to this Songview database is free and it's publicly available. When a song is reconciled, it means that all information shown for the work has been agreed upon by the Songview Participating Society. An icon showing a green check mark in a diamond indicates a reconciled work. Works without an icon have yet to be reviewed. Let's say you want to skate to Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. I know a lot of you probably do. And good news, because ASCAP controls 66.68% and BMI controls 33.34%. That adds up to 100%. Plus, it has a reconciled checkmark. According to Songview, you're good. Let's say you want to skate to one of my favorite songs, New Sensation by NXS. Well, that might be an issue because ASCAP controls part of it, but another party other than BMI controls the rest. The rights to that song still need to be secured. If you wanted that song, I would have to tell you to choose a different one. Or you can use something called Click and Clear in an attempt to obtain the appropriate license. Click and Clear is a paid option that may be available to help you get permission to use a song. It is not covered under the U.S. figure skating blanket licenses with ASCAP and BMI. You can visit clickandclear.com for more information on their music licensing platform. Remember, though, that performance licenses secured through ASCAP and BMI do not cover live and/or on-demand streaming of the song. It also doesn't cover the sales or distribution of video and media that includes music playback. So, if a performance is streamed or recorded, the music can't be captured if you want to adhere to copyright laws, and you should want to adhere to copyright laws. If a club were to stream a performance or a video is recorded with the music, even just for your personal use, the copyright law is being violated. Remember, it's the sole responsibility of the coach, choreographer, athlete, and/or parent or guardian to ensure that the music is 100% cleared by BMI, ASCAP, or a combination of the two, or that you otherwise have the proper licensing obtained, such as through a service like Click and Clear. U.S. Figure Skating says it will make a webinar available in July. The webinar will include general information about the applicable copyright laws, U.S. Figure Skating's license tools, and resources for athletes, clubs, event organizers, and coaches. In the coming weeks, members can also expect to see more targeted outreach from U.S. Figure Skating that will include education directed towards specific member groups that may be affected by the music policy in different ways. Questions regarding the music policy may be sent to music@usfigureskating.org. I know many of you think this is unfair, but honestly, U.S. Figure Skating is just trying to protect all of us. They are paying for the blanket ASCAP and BMI music licenses. Those don't come cheap. Those licenses cover many songs because most artists do use ASCAP or BMI or a combination thereof. I hope this video has helped you better understand. If it did, please give it a like and share it with others you think it could help. Just post it on your social media too. I make videos that can help you with your skating, understanding the rules, and all kinds of other skating related stuff. So remember to subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss a video. This is Amy. Thank you for watching. Happy skating and happy competing. I will see you real soon. Bye.